Die Goethe-Vigoni-Diskursi sind im Kern ein deutsch-italienischer Dialog. Und die Fotos, die wir auch hier im Hintergrund sehen, sind ein Teil bzw. die Visualisierung dieses Dialogs. Meine erste Frage, die ich an dich, Ingmar, habe, ist, wie kam diese Reihe zustande? Wo warst du, als die Pandemie begonnen hat?
Ich war daheim, wie so viele, und habe jeden Tag gesehen, wie die Zahlen nach oben gingen. Und ich war in meinem Atelier und da war Zeit Online noch offen und ich habe die Seite aktualisiert mit dem Newsticker und die Zahlen waren über Nacht extrem gestiegen. Und kurz darauf kam die Ansprache von Angela Merkel am 18. März, woraufhin ich beschlossen habe, dass meine Aufgabe als Fotograf eigentlich ist, genau das einzufangen, was gerade niemand mitbekommt, weil alle daheim sind. Und genau, ich bin dann während des ersten Lockdowns 9000 Kilometer durch Deutschland gefahren unter strengen Sicherheitsvorkehrungen, um ja, zu fotografieren, wie sich die Gesellschaft verändert und ja, wie diese Maßnahmen auch Auswirkungen haben auf, wie wir zusammenleben. Und ja.
Und welche Erfahrungen hast du gemacht, als du die Serie fotografiert hast? Also wie haben die Menschen auch darauf reagiert, fotografiert zu werden?
Das war gerade in der Anfangszeit der Pandemie eigentlich total verständlich, warum ich fotografiere, also für die allermeisten. Ich glaube, man hat verstanden, dass das einfach eine sehr außergewöhnliche Situation war, die ja sehr schnell über uns irgendwie gekommen ist. Und dementsprechend haben die Leute sehr positiv darauf reagiert. Es war natürlich schwierig zu arbeiten oder Zugang zu bekommen, weil natürlich durch Corona-Regeln der Zugang ja, meistens nicht gewünscht war. Ja.
Und welche Bedeutung hat für dich Fotografie innerhalb der Gesellschaft?
Ich teile das immer für mich persönlich, ist Fotografie erstmal ein Weg, mich auszudrücken und einen Zugang zu bekommen zu Orten und zu Situationen, in denen ich selber lernen kann. Und ich glaube, in gesellschaftlicher Perspektive ist Fotografie natürlich heute so wichtig wie noch nie. Und in dem Sinn, so wie ich arbeite.
Warum gerade heute?
Gerade heute, das ganze Internet ist voller Fotografie und wir begegnen Fotografie jeden Tag und jedes Bild ist eine Nachricht, die gesendet wird. Und ich denke, wir leben auch in einer Zeit, wo Bilder missbräuchlich verwendet werden oder dekontextualisiert werden. Genau.
Also ist dann Fotografie auch sowas wie ein Zeitzeugnis für dich, eine Art von Dokumentation?
Genau, und das sehe ich auch als Aufgabe von meiner Arbeitsweise, genau diese Zeit ja, zu dokumentieren, aus einem sehr subjektiven Blick heraus natürlich, aber ja, diese Zeit auch einzufangen und ja, so Erinnerungen auch zu schaffen.
Hat die Pandemie deine Perspektive auf Fotografie auch nochmal geändert?
Ich glaube, ja, und vor allem auch zeigen das Projekte wie dieses hier, dass es total wichtig ist, dass man unterschiedliche Perspektiven, künstlerische Perspektiven, journalistische Perspektiven auf das gleiche Thema hat. Weil es nicht die eine Wahrheit gibt, weil es nicht die eine Wahrnehmung gibt, sondern wir ein relativ komplexes gesellschaftliches Bild haben, was sich nur abbilden lässt, wenn wir ganz unterschiedliche Perspektiven darauf haben. Und so haben wir jetzt hier eine deutsche und eine italienische Perspektive nebeneinander und das verändert natürlich auch die Aussage meiner Bilder und die Aussage der Bilder von Stefano und es ergeben sich neue Aussagen und das finde ich ganz toll.
Darüber werden wir gleich noch sprechen, über den Dialog zwischen den Bildern. Und jetzt gehen wir erstmal über zu einem Interview mit Stefano. Stefano, the Goethe-Vigoni discorsi are a dialogue between Germany and Italy. And we all view your pictures as part of this dialogue or as a visual representation of it. I wanted to start with a similar question I just asked Ingmar. Where were you when the pandemic started, and how did the series come about?
So basically, I've been traveling for the past 10 years all around. I've been living in many different countries, and once I got back home, after 1 month I was back in Italy, everything happened. So for me it was really intense because I've been used to just travel around and be really free. And when I got back, I got stuck in my hometown, which is a small town, 20,000 people. And it's been really tough because freedom was gone. So it was like, I thought immediately a way to just, keep traveling without moving was just taking pictures and document this big event that was happening. And it's been, all the pictures have been taken more or less nearby my town in Italy. And it's been a journey, and it's been like a way to document this big event. For me, it came about really naturally because I used to just take pictures. I'm really interested into social issues. So for me, it came naturally to just document these things and try to spread awareness and makes people understand that this event was really something that needed to be addressed immediately.
How did people react when you were taking pictures? What was your experience taking the pictures? Because while Ingmar's pictures are a little bit more, a lot of times from the distance, yours always seem very close.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like to use wide lenses, so I like to be close to the subject because I like to connect. And at the beginning, it was a little bit, strange, and people were a little bit, afraid of it. But then when I used to talk a lot with my subjects, so explaining them the reason why I was taking pictures, and they try to make them understand that it was important to document and record this period in time to make it, to hope that those pictures that spread that awareness to make things a little bit better and to make people understand. So it wasn't that bad as experience, and people that were understanding the reason why I was taking pictures.
What role does photography play for you in society?
Well, my pictures, my kind of style, I believe, is a mix between kind of documentary photojournalism and fine art photography. So I like to put both together because I like the way that basically makes pictures pretty, so interesting for people, even if the message or what they want to say is something bad, like in this case, the pandemic situation. So people, they get close to the pictures and then get interested to the pictures because of the look they have. And then when they get there, I hope that the message comes through. And so basically for me, the picture is just a medium but the real important thing is the message I want to say. I'm not really good with words, as you can say, so that's my photography.
I feel you're doing fine.
Photography, it's my medium to, it's the medium I found to express something I think is important that come through. So that's why I take pictures, basically.
So would you say your photography is also in part a documentation and an eyewitness account?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's. I mean, the reason why I take pictures is to record something, but to make people to say something to people. To try to document something and that can be used to make things better. That's pretty much why I do it.
Would you say that the pandemic changed your view of photography? Or did it affect it? Did it give you any new insights?
Affected, no, but for sure, I keep taking pictures for the same reasons. But right now, with this pandemic going on, I think I'm more convinced that it's so important. Visual arts are so important because I think I truly believe in science. I think science is the way to go, is the way to discover things, is the way to move forward. But what we're missing in science, I guess, it's the communication on a simple level. So people, they don't really understand things. Normal people that, in this case, if you're not a virologist, if you're not a doctor, it's really tough to understand the virus, why the virus, how it works. So I guess photography is a way to make things easier because it's a medium that arrives to everyone. So you can use it to make people maybe communicate things to people that you normally not able to do it. So yeah, definitely. I take pictures for the same reason. It didn't really change. I always wanted to work on social issues and spread awareness, and that's what I keep doing, and I will keep doing, hopefully. Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you. I would like now to move to basically talking, since the pictures are a dialogue, I think it just makes sense that we start a dialogue between the two of you. Your pictures are visually very different. What would you say is the idea behind your aesthetics?
When the pandemic started, I had the feeling like waking up in a new world or in kind of a science fiction movie that I could never imagine before. And I think a lot of people are sharing the same like feeling at that time. So this feeling really carried through the whole project, and I tried to visualize this kind of surreal moment and topics of isolation, and like I tried to photograph the feeling that I had when the pandemic started, and keep it like kind of cinematographic and rather distanced.
I totally, I can relate to this totally. I had the same feeling. I was like, this is something massive happening. It's something that is going to be written in history books. So it's like I need to record this, and trying to, it was for me as well a way to express my anxiety, my, you know, my preoccupation for this through the pictures. And I guess the difference between us is that you may be, as you said, is a more kind of photojournalistic approach to it, if I can say. I don't know, then you tell me. But I think I take a rather more graphic kind of in the style, talking about the style. So that's the only difference. But I guess the pictures, they work really well together. Even if the styles are really different, they work really, really well together in person.
Why color? Why black and white? Mm-hmm. Just to...
it's the way I see the world. If I look outside the window, there are colors, and that's how I like to capture it.
For me, it's the opposite. I mean, like I see the world in color, of course. I'm not colorblind, but I rather prefer to make my pictures get a little bit far away from reality, so that they get a little bit more graphic. And I like to not having color in my pictures, because I guess is one more information that you have. So if you take out the information, people they more concentrate on the message that the pictures they wanna say. That's why I rather is a distraction for me, from my point of view. Is, you know, it's not how I envision my art. That's.
In putting your pictures together, because they are in the book always in pairs, basically 2 for each month. I have personally had the experience together with Wolfgang Schops that they match really well. How is it for you to now see them together, and what do you think are the parallels? What are the differences, and what makes them work together? If you think they do, of course.
I think they work pretty good together because they're different. And there are different perspectives. If my work would be black and white, I don't know if it would match that good. So you really have different views next to each other. I think that's the most important thing, that they're pretty different in style and in the approach, actually. And but I can relate to a lot of photos that Stefano took, like the first picture that we see over there. That was basically my view, like all day on the driving through empty streets, and yeah.
Yeah, there's not much I can add. I mean, like, I totally agree with you. I think they work well. I think what you said about the black and white and color, it's really the key, I guess. Because if they were all black and white, they could blend together, but then different views. So that, I guess, like this, you got a distinction. You see at 2 different kind of point of view, but they work really well together. I agree, and I can relate as well on a lot of pictures. I think we did that for the same reason. I mean, we had the same feeling. That's why we took the pictures. I guess they work really, really well together. I'm really happy about it. Yeah.
And maybe that's why they support each other, because we wanted to like address the same things and we had the same feelings, but we found different like visual approaches or aesthetic approaches to communicate how we were feeling.
Which I think is the beauty of it. It's the beautiful that different ways to say the same things. That's how, and I'm really happy about the collaboration we had, because I think right now, especially now, collaboration is so important, because we need to put things together and collaborate as more as possible, because I think that's when humans are at their best. When we do things together, we collaborate, we do amazing things. So we should all do it. Be more.
I do think this project is a very good example for it. I want to ask one more question about the experience, because you pointed out the parallels, yet you documented very different realities at the time. While in Italy, everything was much more intense and dire. In Germany, in the beginning, it seemed nobody could really grasp what was going on, because they were lacking the actual experience of it. So while seeing all these parallels, do you also see differences? How the experiences were documented through your images?
The situation in Germany was super different at that time than it was in Italy, and it's also in the pictures. They're super clean. Talking about my work, they're super clean. They're super distant. They're how do you say it? They're more talking about something that might happen, right? Because you had all those measures taken, like before, because we saw the pictures from Bergamo before, and that led us to a situation like this. But it's also like the hospital beds who were just prepared, not used, and waiting for the worst case to happen, which didn't happen at that time, but might arrive this winter, which is sad.
Yeah, no, for my picture, that's different for me. I mean, like, I concentrate on people. I like to more than the situation, you know. So just taking the singular individual and just, you know, even talking with them and try to, because I was confined in my little town as well. I couldn't move much because there was really big lockdown at the moment in Italy, so I couldn't move much around. So I had to work with my surroundings. So I just concentrate on people and just trying to say something through them, just let them speak, basically. So it's more, yeah, it's a little different approach, but.
Okay, then thank you very much for coming here today, and thank you very much for sharing your work with us. And yeah, maybe we'll see more work, obviously, of each one of you, but maybe even together at one point in the future. Thank you.